Thank you. Wow. Well, first, I want to thank you so much for being such an amazing organization and for walking your talk and for showing the way, but more than that, for lighting the way for women all over the world. I'm truly privileged to be in the company of such amazing, empowered women. I love the Latin phrase, felix culpa. It literally means fortunate fault and is usually described a series of unfortunate events can result in a better outcome. And this is how I describe my life. I was born in the infamous restrictive polygamous fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, or FLDS sect, headed by the infamous Warren Jeffs, who has occupied much space in the news lately. I was placed into an arranged marriage and gave birth to 4 children. 2 of these children have special needs. The oldest, John, has autism and significant developmental delay. My youngest, my only daughter, Angel, has cerebral palsy. She was extremely fragile medically, having suffered a brain injury that left her unable to move herself. She was blind and deaf. I'm going to try not to cry, but indulge me if I do. I spent the first 3 years of her life in hospitals or sleeping upright over her crib, monitoring the machines that kept her alive. Now, most of these, what many would call horrible events, were not direct outcome of choices that I made, but of fate, of the portion that life handed to me. And this is the culpa part, or the accidental part. When my daughter was 3 years old, I took my children and left the community, all of my family, and the only life I knew, to become a single mother. Thank you. I was alone in a world I didn't know how to navigate. But everybody has handed at least some adversity in their life. And the beauty of our intelligence is that we get to choose how we respond to it. We can be diminished by our experiences or expanded. We can be overrun by them or strengthened in a way that would not have been possible without them. This is the Felix part. I regard my experiences of my life as stepping stones, as teachers that have given me strength to more than overcome, but to excel, to exceed the boundaries that were arbitrarily placed on me at birth, and to break new ground for myself and for others. After leaving the sect, I researched and pursued nutrition and intensive therapy for my daughter that has helped her achieve miracles. She now sees and hears. She is walking, and she's a very strong and vibrant young girl. Thank you. In the process, I found mentors and friends in abundance. You. Along with a life purpose that is almost frightening in its magnitude and scope. These types of experiences, according to what I've read, are necessary for developing resilience, empathy, and compassion. The key to success is to reframe these experiences and treat them as challenges instead of sentences. I believe that empathy is the most powerful tool we have as human beings, and that creating peace and love in our time is to increase our compassion, both individually and collectively. Because of my experience and background of having disabled children, I'm naturally interested in helping others who find themselves in situations similar to those I've experienced. I was doing voluntary informal advocacy for women who left the FLDS community, and I realized that I needed to further my education if I wanted to be effective with them. So I enrolled in the University of Utah's social work program, and will graduate with my bachelor's degree next May. Thank you. I want to tell you about two of the young women that I have worked with as an example of the urgency of the need. The first was a mother of 3 who had just left the community, who was trying to get settled in affordable housing and find employment. She was fearful and mistrusting of government agencies because of her socialization, as many of us women are. She asked me to go with her to the Department of Workforce Services to apply for assistance. But while we were waiting, she confided in me that she didn't plan to ask for financial assistance because she had been told that they would take her children away. I explained to her that that information was not accurate and helped her work through the application. We explored options for employment and helped her enroll in a CNA course that was paid for by Job Services. She is now mostly through the course and ready to become self-sufficient. Another woman came to me after having recently left the community. She said that during the prior year, she had been pressured by the cult leaders to give her 4 children to another, more deserving woman. She signed a legal document saying that she gave up her parental rights. She didn't think she had any recourse and was despondent at the idea of never seeing her children again. I explained to her that children are not considered property and cannot be signed over as such. I further explained that she had signed the unenforceable document under duress and that it would never hold up in court. We formulated a plan for her to go and retrieve her children, fortified with a telephone number of the county sheriff and an attorney friend of mine, and a borrowed minivan. Within a week, I got a text from her in a meeting that made me cry. Just 3 words. I got them. Thank you. So, I plan to use the very generous Leave for Your Dream Award to start an agency that will provide wraparound services for these women and teens who are exiting the FLDS community, as well as other restrictive sects, who are in need of assistance to transition safely into mainstream society. I plan to create, thank you. I plan to create a bridge between this population and existing services, using my knowledge of their history, their fears, and their unique language to help them understand and utilize what is available to them in terms of education, financial, psychological, physical, and housing supports. In addition, we will provide social and emotional supports that are desperately needed at a time when they are so vulnerable. I recognize that it's not my job to rescue them from their experiences and rob them of their own wings. But it's my job to shine a light on their inner strength and show them how to reach within the well of their very own abundant beings and use the strength that they didn't even know they had to unmask their true selves. In short, it's my responsibility to pass on to them what you've given to me. Hope in the face of hopelessness and recognizing the possible in the impossible. I am so honored to be chosen as a recipient of your award. And I realize that the Live Your Dream Award is not a recognition of just me, but of the indomitable female spirit, of the human spirit. Life has handed me many challenges, yes. Nevertheless, there are many women out there who masquerade as mere mortals every day, performing superhuman feats without a cape. So I hope that with this recognition, I can represent all these women, and that my life will be spent paying it forward to these unsung heroes. Thank you for having faith in me to do this. and for your incredible generosity.